Let's give a warm Arizona welcome to Republican Arizona Senate candidate Blake Masters.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Great to see you. You know, it's funny. I've offered all these Democrats time on my show. Not one. Raphael Warnock, Mandela Barnes, the guy in the hoodie from Pennsylvania, the trust fund brat that never worked a day in his life. Democrats won't come on my show. Why do you think that is? I'm offering them an hour, a full hour. Good to see you.
You as well. Thank you.
So we have pretty much here in Arizona have a senator that's just like Chuck Schumer or just like Dianne Feinstein. So does that represent the values of Arizona? Because I think I know Arizona well. I've been down to the border from the Rio Grande to San Diego in Tucson. I've been down here 15 times, and it's out of control.
It is out of control. What do you think? Does Mark Kelly represent us? No, he does not. And you know what the frustrating thing is? He promised he would, right? He promised that he was going to be independent. He promised 2 years ago when he was campaigning that he was going to be some kind of moderate. Well, that's campaign Kelly. And then he got to D.C. He completely surrendered his voting card to Chuck Schumer. And he is just a rubber stamp for this failed Biden agenda. I don't even understand why this guy wants to be a senator. He has zero independence of mind.
By the way, how many agree with me? You slaughtered him in that debate. Wow. You know, it's interesting, when we get to this point in an election year, usually if you're even with the incumbent, any last-minute breaking votes go towards the challenger. That would be towards you. You're now in a statistical dead heat with Mark Kelly. Now, we have a libertarian in this race. I'm telling everybody in Arizona, and to all my libertarian friends, don't take offense. Well, you probably will, I don't care. You're wasting your vote. It's a half a vote for Mark Kelly. Everyone agree with me? Mm-hmm. And you've had to go up against that challenge. Have you spoken with him?
I have spoken with him, although, you know, I think we're going to drive that libertarian vote down to about 1%, maybe even less, because people know freedom is on the ballot, right? And if you care about freedom, if you don't want some left-wing totalitarian dystopia, you've got to vote Republican up and down the ticket, and that means in the Senate race, you've got to vote for me.
Right. When I look at what is at stake this election, I break it down to real simple stuff, the stuff I was asking this great crowd, and that is 41-year high of inflation, record high gas prices, wide open borders. We set a record last year of illegal immigrants coming into the country. We set a new record already this year, and we still have 2.5 months in the year left. Then you deal with law and order, safety and security, so people can pursue happiness. And then the last one is, I think parents are sick and tired of the indoctrination of their children in school. And they want to go back to the basics. We were talking to Curry about it. Am I missing something?
There's so many problems that Democrats have caused, it's kind of hard to know where to start, right? But we in Arizona, we bear the brunt of these twin crises that they caused, the border crisis and this crazy economic inflation crisis. Mm-hmm. And to pick on inflation, for instance, I'm tired of people talking about this as if it's some act of God, as it's some mystery. Where did inflation come from? Well, 2 years ago, inflation was 1.5%. You didn't even have to worry about it. It came from the White House. It came from Joe Biden's bad, demented economic policies. Yeah, and policies that Mark Kelly supports in lockstep. Right? What are the two things they did? They surrendered our energy independence. Right? We were energy independent. How nice was that? Right? They took gas from $2 to $6 by declaring war on fossil fuels. Sean, what did these geniuses think was going to happen when you declare war on oil and gas in a country that's powered by oil and gas? You think you might shoot the cost of energy up to the moon?
Listen, I lived paycheck to paycheck for many years in my early adult life. It's not fun. I can afford it now. I get paid more than I deserve. I hope my boss isn't watching. But honestly, I get ticked off. I'm angry when I fill up a gas tank and it's twice, you know, it's $120. It used to be $60. I'm like, this is annoying. And it's killing the poor, the middle class, people on fixed incomes. One thing that I like about the two of you is you have developed a rapport already where I could tell you will work in tandem. You'll work at the federal level, you'll work at the state level, and you have a shared philosophy that will serve the people of Arizona. That is rare. Am I saying that the right way?
It's right there in the last name, Lake and Blake. It's too good, right?
Well, we need our federal delegation. I mean, we've got issues that we need the feds' help with. I mean, we really do when it comes to water and things like that. So we're going to work well together. And with Debbie Lesko, who's here, and Congressman
Andy Biggs. Burgess Owen is here from Utah.
Yeah, so we need our federal delegation. We need to get as many Republicans in it as possible so we can get something done for Arizona back in D.C.
That, if you have that dynamic, I've watched it before, it really works out well for the people. You know, people forget that run for office, they're supposed to be public servants.
That's
right. They lose track of that.
These people are our boss.
Yeah.
The people of Arizona are our boss.
It's a great way to do it. I like your analogy about a job interview.
Yes.
And Katie Hobbs is running from the interviewer.
Katie Hobbs refuses to debate. I think Mark Kelly wishes he refused to debate. What do you think?
I think that's good. All right, Kari and Blake will stay with us. So all of you here in Arizona, you know all too well the dangers of Biden's open borders and that agenda. And to help deal with the crisis, the state has now placed shipping containers along the border with Mexico to help deter illegal immigrants from crossing the Biden administration. And they're now mad. These shipping containers, you know, it's like building your own little wall. Governor Ducey, I guess, started this and put this up. Anyway, so they're now, Biden and company are demanding the containers be removed. We sent our very own investigative reporter and friend, Sarah Carter, Fox News contributor, to the border, to the shipping containers, and Governor Ducey is saying, I'm not going to remove them. Here's Sarah with the latest.
Right now, the state of Arizona is actually in a battle with the federal government. I mean, Governor Ducey is actually trying to sue the federal government because their federal government's trying to force the state of Arizona to actually take down the train cars that they're using to basically, these cargo containers, to basically create a border in the gaps.
Correct. So that's why it makes a big difference that people sometimes don't understand it. So we have the immigration problem, obviously, where anybody can come across, claim asylum, and then they're getting released. That's a big issue. Then you got the gotaways, which this area leads the entire country in gotaways. There's nowhere else more than here in this part of Arizona. And then you got the narcotics. So it's three stages of a war. So if you just take those down, then obviously that's where people are going to come across. That's where they're going to turn themselves in. That's where agents will be preoccupied. And then when they move themselves from that area, having to do processing, transport, many times hospital watches, now the drug smugglers take advantage of that gap, and then that's where they come through. So they're still going to be bringing the drugs in, obviously, right? But now it's easier to direct it in different areas. You got to make it harder for them.
All right, we continue with Republican Senate candidate Blake Masters and gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake. Joining us now on the stage is the president of the National Border Patrol Council, our friend Brandon Judd. Good to see you again, sir. How are you? So we went over Katie Hobbs' record. The record of Mark Kelly, he voted against Title 42 3 times. He voted against hiring 18,000 border agents, but he did vote for the 87,000 IRS agents. And he voted to defund the border wall construction 3 times in 2021 alone. You're down there every day. I've interviewed you how many times?
More than I can remember.
I've been on horseback, helicopter, all-terrain vehicle, out on boats. I've been everywhere from the Rio Grande to San Diego. I've been in the drug warehouses. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
One of the few. You've been one of the few in the actual media that goes down there to try to understand exactly what's going on.
Now I'm an old tanker, so I send my reporters.
Hey, keep going down there, though.
Yeah. I will, but Sarah's done a great job.
Yes.
And now the fentanyl crisis. 90% of fentanyl, 90% of opioids cross that southern border right into this state in Texas, correct?
It is, and it's not just staying in Arizona and Texas, and that's the problem. It's going throughout the entire United States. When we see this drug epidemic that's taking place, it's in Ames, Iowa. It's in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's up in Maine, obviously in Florida. It's going throughout the entire United States.
And then we've got the cartels running it. Then we got human trafficking. We have underage sex trafficking. You've seen it all, correct?
Yeah, Sean, I live this nightmare every single day, and I would have never dreamed that it could possibly get this bad. I would have never dreamed that we would have governors that wouldn't do what's best for their citizens. I would have never dreamed that we would have a president of the United States that doesn't care enough about his own citizens to actually secure the border and go after the criminal cartels. This is easy. We were able to do it under President Trump. He recreated the will. It's not like he completely did something new, and we were able to secure the border. And with proper governors, with proper senators, we can get right back to the support that we need to do what's necessary to secure the American people.
Let's talk about this team. Kari is governor, Blake is senator. Now, we have seen, it was amazing, 2 volunteers went to Martha's Vineyard. They were off that island. They couldn't get them off the island fast enough.
Yeah.
24 hours gone.
They got a sample, a little taste of what we deal with 50 people who are here illegally, illegal aliens going to Martha's Vineyard, and we deal with hundreds of thousands who have come across our border.
Yeah.
And now I'm not a big fan
together,
of shipping
though?
them around the country. I think I've told you that before, but I do think it illustrated what we're dealing with. And it showed that they immediately wanted to deport the people. Yet they don't want us taking control of our border on our own. But we will. We're going to, with my border plan, take control of the border on our own.
You are not going to take, you don't care what Joe Biden says.
No.
You are going to do everything within your power. And we see, listen, I've talked to Greg Abbott a lot. He has tried every single thing within his power. As governor, you don't have the authority to say you're out of here and send them back.
Well, what we're going to do is go to the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 10.
Right.
We have an invasion on our border. Within the first hour of my administration, we're going to issue a declaration of invasion. And the people want it. The people demand it. And we are going to take control of the border. Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution allows us to do that. We have an invasion. Our people are in danger, and there's no time for delay. We meet all 3 criteria, and we're going to take control of the border, away from the cartels.
And Blake, you will be able on the federal level, as an elected senator, to support and help her efforts.
Absolutely. I'll do everything at the federal level to help Kari get that done at the state level. You know, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be frustrating because here's why. 2022, this is a save the country election. So is 2024. They go together. We need the White House back. In January 2025, when God willing, we inaugurate a strong Republican president again, it gets easy, right? We'll pass a great piece of border security legislation. The president will sign it. Well, we will pass that out of the House and Senate when we take back the House and the Senate, but Biden's not going to sign it, right? So here's my pledge for 2023 and 2024. I will grind Biden's agenda to a halt, unless and until we get border security. Full stop.
It's got to be great for you and all the people you work with every day. You put your life on the line. You're dealing with dangerous cartels. You're dealing with human traffickers, drug traffickers, dangerous work. And then to have the support will make
and that's what we need. We have to have the support of governor. We have to have the support of senators. We also have to have the support of congressmen. We've got Andy Biggs. We've got Burgess Owens. We've got Debbie Lesko. These individuals can step up to the plate and immediately impeach Secretary Mayorkas. And then Blake
can vote for that.
And then Blake can vote to convict. And then, of course, Governor Lake can then give the support that's necessary so that we can go after the criminal cartels. If we can go after the criminal cartels, we can save the lives of our children, our grandchildren, our neighbors, and our friends. That's what Governor Lake can do for us.
The hour goes by quick. We only got like 6 minutes left in the show.
It can't be over.
I know. Can you believe it?
Let's do 2 hours.
All right, you have to negotiate with Laura Ingraham. She might get mad at me. Listen, this race is critical. Wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you.
In the governor's race.
Thanks for coming.
Best of luck in the senatorial race. Arizona, everything may be in your hands. It may come down to you right here in this state. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.